Blady? He takes after his name. His fights are a pleasure to witness.
Well, hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk about something interesting because for something I realized happening when more and more DPS come out, there's a different type of archetype of team style you can play, and I like to call it the double DPS comp. And the concept of a double DPS comp is pretty simple. You have two DPS on the same team doing damage. It's not like a hyper carry team where you focus on one DPS and buff the hell out of them, like get your Silverwolf out there, your Tingo and Bronya, and I heal up your choice, and then you can just hyper carry and you can do all the damage. But a different way you can play a game is having two DPS on the same team. But way before Jinglu came out, the only way you can actually make a double DPS combo is someone like Blade. Because a lot of characters, like main DPS characters, use a lot of skill points. For example, someone like Sela and Jin-Yuan and Barb, Tilmei, like a lot of units want to use their skill because for one, they benefit a lot from using their skills. And ideally, you want to use your skill as much as you can when it's their turn. And there are ways you can make like a double DPS combo, like let's say instead of like a main DPS that can be hyper carry, you can use like a DPS that wants to use a lot of skill point and another DPS that can use like less skill point, like someone like Clara, Blade, Himiko, like unit that doesn't really care about using their skill too much, like use it a few times but don't really care about it that much. And ever since Jinglu came out, I think a lot of people realize how cool and how fun a double DPS comp can use, because one, if you don't have like Jinglu best hyper carry team, if you have a Blade, Jinglu and Blade make a really insane combo together because one, how much they complement each other, how much they synergize with each other is honestly amazing. And with more characters coming out, specifically DPS units or units that are meant to be like a sub DPS unit too, the double DPS combo just have more and more options to use, because one, the only way to make a double DPS combo, you need a very skill point efficient DPS, and then with that skill point efficient DPS, you can go for like let's say a DPS that use a lot of skill points up. And for like your buffer, you could go for like a Tingon or Bronya, but then with a double DPS combo, a lot of characters get more beneficial, like characters that can do like party wide buffing capabilities like Asta, E6, Yukong, Pele with her AoE defense shredder. Like for like a double DPS combo, those units will seem more valuable. But of course, if you want to use your Tingon, you want to use your Silverwolf, you want to use your Bronya, then go ahead. Like let's say for the Blade and Jinglu variants, like you would likely use someone like Bronya because for one, it's so easy to get uptime on Jinglu to get back in the Mars. It's kind of fine. But in everything in life, there's pros and cons to everything. Let's say for like the double DPS comp, because do I think like the double DPS comp can be like hyper carry variant of that team? Like let's say like could the Blade Jinglu variant be like Jinglu hyper carry? Probably not, because then Jinglu is such a broken character, such amazing skill, and it's so much beneficial like to do a hyper carry team like Bronya, Silver, like all that stuff. And using a hyper carry team, like one of the best ways to like maximize your favorite DPS down by going all in with high end support luxury units like let's say Tingo and Silver, like all that stuff, buffing up your DPS and make your DPS do like crazy amount of damage. That is a very good way to play the game, but not the only way you can play a character or play a team, because for one, the advantage of playing like a double DPS combo, yes, you don't have like two high-end support buffing up your DPS damage, but you have two DPS on the same team, and it basically kind of counteracts like let's say it kind of makes up the fact that you don't have two buffers up in your hyper carry team because you have two DPS on your team. And it will make up the fact that you're not playing a hyper carry team, but yes, the hyper carry teams are usually better 9 times out of 10. The double DPS combo aren't exactly that far behind, so if you like to play those two units together, like if you like to play your Blade with Jinglu, it's actually a very fun combo together. And especially if you don't have Tingyun or Bronya on that team to help Jinglu on the uptime, Blade will be able to make up for that, because for one, when Jinglu have a downtime, Blade DPS is always constant. So if you want to play a double DPS comp, it's very worthwhile for your time, especially if you like those two DPS and want to make them work. And when time goes on, more and more units will come out that will be like a sub DPS or like main DPS, and you can always pair them up together, because one, it could be very fun, and two, if you want to use those both units together, you can definitely try it out for sure, because for one, even though let's say the double DPS comp can never probably like let's say never be like the hyper carry variants of let's say set unit you putting them in the double DPS comp, it's gonna be a fun team comp for sure. And like we already have teams that would technically be called like a double DPS comp. We have Clara, Topaz, Jin-Yuan, Blade, Jinglu, like we have examples of those stuff. And there are probably other double DPS comp I'm forgetting to say, but you guys probably know it if you guys tried them out already. But with all that said, I think that's everything I want to talk about today's video. So with all that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate if you made it far. Let me know if you made it far and I'll hatch your comment because I would appreciate supporting me. Let me know what you do next and let me know what you guys think what to say. You agree with me, disagree with me on this, let me know down below because at the end of the day, I'm not gonna kill you. Meh, probably might kill you with a little comment and with color stuff. But anyways, final thought is I do think the double DPS combo get more mainstream because when more units come out that can be like sub DPS, it's gonna be very beneficial. And since we have like very tanky support that can solve the same on healers that can do the same thing, it's very possible we can get that in the near future for sure. And with more and more characters coming out, and especially because when more and more DPS come out with the choose, because for instance party slots are limited, you can only use 2 party slots to use like 2 DPS if you want to use 2 DPS on the same team and if you really like those DPS. What do I think they can match up the hypercarry team? No, not really. Maybe, but I do think hypercarry teams are better, but I do think double DPS teams are much more funner in my opinion. But at the end of the day, that is just an opinion. But with all that said, take care, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.